The Hound of the Baskervilles, 1902. Episode 3, Sir Henry's Arrival and the Threat Emerges. Welcome back, fellow detectives. We've heard the legend of the Demon Hound and examined the mysterious death of Sir Charles Baskerville. Now, the last heir arrives in London to claim his inheritance, a young man from Canada who knows nothing of the danger that awaits him. But someone is already watching, already planning, already moving to ensure that Sir Henry Baskerville never reaches Devonshire alive. Have you ever felt like you were being followed in a crowded city? What if I told you that sometimes the most dangerous predators hunt not on lonely moors, but in the heart of civilization? Prepare yourself as Holmes discovers that the curse has followed Sir Henry to London, and that time is running out to identify the hunter before he strikes. Picture yourself still at Baker Street as Dr. Mortimer returns with his young client. The door opens, and Sir Henry Baskerville enters, and immediately you understand why this man would refuse to be frightened by legends. He's in his early 30s, vigorous and athletic, with the weathered complexion of someone who's spent years working outdoors. His manner is direct and practical, showing none of the nervous apprehension you might expect from someone inheriting a cursed estate. "Mr. Holmes," Sir Henry says in a strong Canadian accent, gripping Holmes's hand firmly. "Dr. Mortimer has told me about you. He seems to think I'm in danger from some family curse, but I'll be honest. I don't believe in such nonsense. I'm a farmer, not a superstitious old woman. Holmes studies him carefully. "Sir Henry, your skepticism does you credit. But skepticism shouldn't prevent you from taking reasonable precautions. Tell me, have you experienced anything unusual since arriving in London?" Sir Henry looks puzzled. "Unusual? No, nothing at all. I only arrived yesterday evening and spent the night at the Northumberland Hotel. Why do you ask?" "Because," Holmes says quietly, "someone may already know you're here. Someone who has a vested interest in ensuring you never reach Baskerville Hall." Sir Henry laughs, though it sounds slightly forced. "You're trying to frighten me, Mr. Holmes, but I assure you I intend to claim my inheritance. I've spent my whole life working other people's land in Canada. Now I have an estate of my own, and I'll not be scared away by old stories. Think about Sir Henry's position, detective. He's just inherited wealth beyond his dreams, a title, and a historic estate. After years of hard work and poverty, he's finally achieved security and status. Would you walk away from that because of a legend? Or would you dismiss the warnings as superstitious nonsense?" Holmes turns to Dr. Mortimer. "Has Sir Henry been out of your sight since arriving in London?" Mortimer nods. "Yes. He went back to his hotel last night alone. I stayed with friends in Kensington. We arranged to meet here this morning." Holmes looks concerned. "And this morning, did you notice anyone following you here?" Both men look surprised. "Following us?" Sir Henry asks. "Of course not. Why would anyone follow us?" But Holmes is already at the window, looking down at Baker Street, "because someone is watching this building right now. Watson, come here and tell me what you see." Watson joins Holmes at the window and scans the street. "I see a hansom cab on the corner, a man reading a newspaper on the bench, some pedestrians. Wait, that bearded man in the doorway across the street. He's been standing there for several minutes watching our entrance." Holmes nods. "Excellent observation. And he's been there since Dr. Mortimer and Sir Henry arrived. He's trying to look casual, but he's definitely watching." Sir Henry moves to the window. "Let me see this fellow." But before he can get a clear look, the bearded man suddenly steps into a waiting cab and disappears into the London traffic. Holmes curses softly. He saw us watching him. Professional surveillance? He knew when he'd been spotted. "Someone is definitely taking an interest in you, Sir Henry," Holmes says grimly, "and they're careful enough to know when they've been observed. That suggests organization and planning, not impulsive action." Sir Henry looks troubled for the first time. "You really think I'm in danger? Here in London, hundreds of miles from Devonshire?" Holmes returns to his chair. "Sir Henry, let me ask you a direct question. Besides Dr. Mortimer and myself, who in London knows you've arrived to claim your inheritance?" Sir Henry considers. "Well, the hotel staff at the Northumberland, I suppose. And I sent a telegram to my banker informing him of my arrival, but no one else that I can think of." You didn't mention your arrival to anyone on the ship from Canada or to any acquaintances during your journey. Holmes probes. Sir Henry shakes his head. I kept it quiet. Dr. Mortimer's letter was quite specific about the dangers, so I thought it best not to broadcast my business. Yet someone already knows you're here and is watching your movements, Holmes observes. That suggests either a leak in Dr. Mortimer's circle or someone in Devonshire who has informants in London. Either way, it's deeply concerning. Before they can discuss further, there's an urgent knock at the door. Mrs. Hudson enters with a message. Excuse me, Mr. Holmes, but a porter from the Northumberland Hotel just delivered this. He said it was very urgent. Holmes takes the envelope and reads quickly, then passes it to Sir Henry. It seems your mysterious watcher has already made contact. Sir Henry reads aloud, his voice showing his growing unease. As you value your life or your reason, keep away from the moor. Signed, a friend. The threatening note is made from words cut from a newspaper and pasted onto hotel stationery. Holmes examines it with his magnifying glass. Constructed last night or early this morning. The paste is still slightly damp. The words are cut from yesterday's Times. I recognize the typeface. And most interesting, the note was assembled using hotel stationery from the Northumberland. Can you see what Holmes is suggesting, Detective? Someone had access to the hotel stationery, which means they're either staying at the hotel or have a contact among the staff. The threat isn't coming from Devonshire. It's right here in London, perhaps in the very building where Sir Henry is staying. This note tells us several important things, Holmes continues. First, it was composed in haste, using newspaper clippings rather than handwriting to avoid identification. Second, the writer has knowledge of your plans. Third, and most curious, they're warning you away rather than making an overt threat. As you value your life or your reason, that's an interesting choice of words. Watson leans forward. What do you mean? Holmes explains. Most threatening letters say, I will kill you, or you will die. But this one suggests you might lose either your life or your sanity. It's invoking the curse specifically, the idea that the moor itself is dangerous, that something supernatural awaits you there. Sir Henry's face has lost some of its earlier confidence. You think someone is trying to use the family legend to frighten me away? Holmes nods. I think someone wants you terrified but not dead. Yet. They're hoping fear will accomplish what murder might not. If you voluntarily refuse your inheritance, they achieve their goal without risk. But if you're not frightened, Watson adds grimly, then they may resort to more direct methods. Sir Henry stands, his jaw set with determination. Well, they've misjudged their man. I've dealt with bears in the Canadian wilderness, survived harsh winters and dangerous work. I'll not be scared off by anonymous letters and old wives' tales. Holmes cautions him. Bravery is admirable, Sir Henry, but bravado is dangerous. Someone killed Sir Charles, whether with a trained dog, a fabricated supernatural terror, or some method we haven't yet discovered. That same someone may be planning your death even as we speak. You must take this seriously. Before Sir Henry can respond, Mrs. Hudson appears again, looking flustered. I'm terribly sorry to interrupt again, Mr. Holmes, but Sir Henry's hotel just sent another messenger. There's been an incident. Sir Henry's face pales. What kind of incident? The messenger explains breathlessly. Sir, one of your boots has been stolen from outside your room. The chambermaid placed your boots in the hall last night for cleaning, as is customary. This morning she found only one boot remaining. The other has vanished. The room falls silent. Of all the things that might be stolen from a wealthy man's hotel room, money, jewelry, documents, someone has taken a boot. Holmes's expression becomes intensely focused. Which boot was taken? New or old? Left or right? What color? The messenger consults his notes. A brand new tan boot, sir. One of a pair Sir Henry had just purchased yesterday afternoon. The right boot was taken, leaving the left behind. Holmes turns sharply to Sir Henry. You went shopping yesterday? Where and what did you buy? Sir Henry looks embarrassed. I bought a few things at a shop on Oxford Street, some new clothes for my stay in England. The boots were part of the purchase. They cost me a pretty penny, too. Why would anyone steal just one boot? It's useless without the pair. Think about this bizarre theft, detective. A threatening letter delivered to the hotel, mysterious surveillance on the street, and now a single new boot stolen from Sir Henry's room. What possible connection could there be? What use is one boot to a thief? Holmes begins pacing rapidly. This is extraordinarily significant. Sir Henry, you must return to your hotel immediately and conduct a thorough inventory of all your possessions. Check everything: clothing, documents, toiletries, everything. Watson and I will accompany you. I need to understand what else might have been taken or disturbed. At the Northumberland Hotel, they conduct a careful search of Sir Henry's rooms. Nothing else appears to be missing. His money, his documents, even his expensive watch are all present. Only the one tan boot has vanished. Holmes examines the room thoroughly, paying particular attention to areas someone might have searched. Your papers haven't been disturbed, Holmes notes. Your luggage locks show no signs of tampering. Whoever took the boot either had a key to your room or entered while the boots were in the hallway. The theft was careful and selective. Sir Henry looks baffled. But why a boot? What possible use could someone have for one boot? Holmes doesn't answer directly. Instead, he asks, Sir Henry, I need you to think very carefully. During your shopping trip yesterday, did anyone follow you? Did anyone show unusual interest in your purchases? Sir Henry considers. Now that you mention it, there was an older gentleman in the boot shop who seemed quite interested when I mentioned I was going to Devonshire. He asked about Dartmoor specifically, whether I knew the area where I'd be staying. Describe this man, Holmes demands urgently. Sir Henry closes his eyes, recalling. Elderly, perhaps 60 or so, with a thick black beard and bushy eyebrows. Well-dressed, spoke with an educated accent. He seemed like a harmless old gentleman making conversation. Holmes and Watson exchanged significant glances. The same description as the man watching Baker Street this morning. Holmes's expression becomes very serious. Sir Henry, you're being stalked by someone organized and deliberate. They've tracked your movements, gained access to your hotel room, stolen your boot, and sent threatening letters. This isn't random harassment. It's a carefully planned campaign. But what's the plan? Watson asks. What does stealing a boot accomplish? Holmes responds thoughtfully. I don't know yet, and that troubles me deeply. Every other action has an obvious purpose. The letter to frighten him, the surveillance to track him. But the boot? That serves some purpose we don't yet understand. Sir Henry's determination has been shaken. Mr. Holmes, I came to you for advice. Dr. Mortimer wants me to refuse my inheritance, to stay away from Baskerville Hall. You've shown me I'm in genuine danger. What do you recommend I do? Holmes is silent for a long moment, clearly weighing options. The safest course would be to refuse the inheritance, Holmes admits. Stay in London or return to Canada. Let the estate pass to whoever is next in line. But that would mean letting a murderer win through intimidation. It would also leave us no closer to solving Sir Charles's death or stopping whoever is behind these threats. The brave course, Holmes continues, is to go to Devonshire, claim your inheritance and draw out whoever is threatening you. But that makes you bait in a trap, and I can't guarantee your safety. Someone has already killed once and is clearly preparing to kill again. Think about this impossible choice, detective. Safety or duty? Hide from danger or face it to bring a killer to justice? What would you do in Sir Henry's position? Walk away from everything you've inherited, or risk your life to claim what's rightfully yours? Sir Henry makes his decision. I'm going to Baskerville Hall. I won't be frightened away from my own home by some coward who sends anonymous letters and steals boots. But I'd appreciate your help, Mr. Holmes. Will you come with me to Devonshire? Holmes shakes his head regretfully. I have urgent business in London that cannot be postponed, but Dr. Watson can accompany you. He's steady in a crisis and has my complete trust. Watson looks surprised, but pleased. Of course I'll go. I'd be honored to help. Holmes outlines his plan. Watson will travel with you to Baskerville Hall and stay as your guest. He'll observe everything, report to me regularly, and help ensure your safety. Meanwhile, I'll investigate here in London, track down whoever is watching you, discover who sent that letter, and understand why someone wants that boot. "But you must promise me, Sir Henry," Holmes says with unusual intensity, "that you'll follow Watson's advice. Don't go wandering on the moor alone, especially after dark. Don't trust anyone completely, no matter how friendly they seem. And at the first sign of serious danger, send for me immediately. Is that understood?" Sir Henry nods solemnly. "I understand. When do we leave?" Holmes consults his watch. "Give me 24 hours to make arrangements. Dr. Mortimer, I assume you'll be returning to Devonshire as well." Mortimer nods. "I'll travel with them. My practice is there, and besides, someone needs to introduce Sir Henry to his neighbors." "Excellent," Holmes says. "Watson, pack for an extended stay. You may be gone for weeks. Sir Henry, be extremely careful during these next 24 hours. Stay in your hotel, don't go out alone, and report anything unusual immediately. Our enemy is watching and waiting for an opportunity." As they prepare to leave, Holmes pulls Watson aside. "My dear fellow, you're walking into danger. Someone has already committed murder and is clearly planning another. Keep Sir Henry safe, but also observe everything. Note who visits Baskerville Hall. Watch for anyone showing unusual interest in Sir Henry, and pay particular attention to the servants, especially this butler Barrymore, who conveniently found Sir Charles's body." "And the boot?" Watson asks. "What do you make of that strange theft?" Holmes's face shows rare uncertainty. "I don't know, and that worries me more than anything else. In my experience, when I don't understand a criminal's actions, it means they're several steps ahead of me. That boot serves some purpose in a larger plan, and we must discover what before it's too late. So tell me, detective, what could someone possibly want with a single new boot? Is it a trophy, evidence for some purpose, or bait for a trap? And that bearded man watching the hotel, is he the murderer or just another piece in a larger conspiracy? Most importantly, can Watson keep Sir Henry safe when Holmes himself admits he doesn't fully understand the danger they're facing? The threat that seemed distant on the Devonshire moors has followed Sir Henry to London, striking at him in his hotel room, watching him from the shadows. Someone is planning something elaborate and dangerous, and Sir Henry is walking directly into their trap. The curse of the Baskervilles has awakened, and its next victim has been marked. Join me next time as Watson and Sir Henry journey to Dartmoor and discover that Baskerville Hall is even more isolated and ominous than the legends suggested. Strange neighbors, suspicious servants, and the howling of something inhuman on the moor await them in the darkness.